of mine were telling me about this experiment they did last year. It is called A Year to Live, how to live this year as if it were your last. I thought it sounded quite morbid and pressurizing. I mean, why this fixation on death? And upon thinking about it, I realized that if you were fully present in each moment of your life, you'd be living your life meaningfully as opposed to thinking about stuff which is not so important, like the shoes you want to buy, the car you want to buy, what someone said that irritated you. And about living life presently and being present to each moment. Which brings me to a production which is coming up this Saturday. It's called Sonnets for an Old Century, and I'm going to speak to the director as well as an actress from it about 28 monologues, about 28 different characters. They're in limbo and they're talking about their lives with different reflections. They're in different mental and emotional states.
Craft. Then I finished the thing and started having a brain tumour. I called the studio. It's almost ready, I said, but I can't finish it because I have a brain tumour. They think I lied. I didn't lie. I didn't. I could feel it throbbing in my cranium. It was like I was having a baby inside my head. She's a scriptwriter, and she's always she's made a lot of excuses in her life. She loves what she does. She's very vivacious. She's great. But now she's just trying to explain, you know, everything that went wrong wasn't her fault. It was completely unexpected, and it's not her fault that she's in this position.
Hello and welcome back to another broadcast of Urban Quillet. I'm Emily Olas, your friendly host, and today I'm with a wonderful actor and a wonderful director for Sonnets for an Old Century, which starts this Saturday. It's actually on this Saturday. It's the only show on March the 3rd. So we're privileged to be with you and hear about this groundbreaking production, which is at my favorite place, the beach. So Rayann, why is it at the beach?
When Quinta Productions asked me to get involved, that was the one thing that they had. They said, our concept is theatre at the beach. And they had spoken to Sentosa and already they had permission to use the space at the beach. So I thought, well, yeah, love it. Love the beach, love site-specific, let's do it. So we went and had a sort of recce trip to Sentosa. And the spot that they were originally thinking of is just basically a big flat sand pit, which I think Sentosa uses a lot for events. Like they set up a big tent there and people do their thing. But it's kind of not the beach and it's not really a park, it's just a big sandy pit. And so
but very atmospheric. Yeah.
Well, I kind of thought, I don't like this. So I marched off and found these trees and thought, oh, okay, what's behind the trees? And kept walking and walked into the trees and discovered this amazing sort of natural enclosure that's surrounded by greenery, has a big open space inside. It backs onto the ocean on one side and onto the big empty sand pit on the other. Yeah. So it's isolated. It's not right on the busy part of the beach where the bars and all that are. But it's very atmospheric. It's got this perfect natural sort of boundary. And I said to the girls, this is where I want it. And they kind of all went, I don't know about this. So they went back off to Sentosa and said, our director wants to use this bit of grass in the corner. And Sentosa said, well, nobody's ever done that before, but if you want, go ahead. And hence our location.
Your stage was born.
Yes, basically.
Yeah. And Rosie, one of the actors.
Yep.
Tell us more about Sonnets. What is the show?
Oh, well, it's a collection of really, really, really beautiful monologues, and there are 28, 29 different characters, and hence 28 different actors, and it's just a collection of beautiful monologues from people who have just passed away, and they're at that stage where it's kind of like their last words, you know, before they move on to wherever they go next, you know, their next stage, I guess, of death. So
they've already passed away, but they haven't quite passed on. So they're in a kind of limbo, would you say?
Yeah, definite limbo. Yeah.
Yeah, and is it like a? So it's not like a fiery kind of purgatorial limbo. It's just like they're sort of like in the ether.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a kind of a neutral space. It's sort of between here and wherever you go next, wherever that might be. Yeah, it's just an in between.
So, José Rivera wrote this just a few years ago. What inspires this kind of play? Why do you think it's important for people to experience these monologues of what people say after they die?
I think that this piece is interesting because, I mean, you could say, oh yeah, it's about death, but really it's much more about life than it is about death. And it always, I kind of come out of it at the end with this wonderful sort of sense of how immense and how small life is and how wonderful that is. I mean, these stories are just so, so different, and the things that people get hung up about, the things that people remember, the things that they celebrate, I think there's something in it that everyone can connect with in one way or another. And it's just a really beautiful journey. It's heartbreaking at one moment and hysterically funny at the next, and everything in between, really. There are such different and diverse characters.
This Saturday, March the 3rd, Sonnets for the Old Century, put out by Quinta Productions and Skin Knee Productions. Get your tickets if you haven't gotten them yet. Where do we get our tickets from?
You get them from www.quintaproductions.com. So I'm going to spell that. QUINTAPRODUCTIONS.com.
Yay! So yeah, that's all for now. This is Rosie McGowan, one of the actresses from the show, and Rayann Condy, the director. We'll catch you soon on Urban Cool It. Thank you very much. This is Emily Olis.